I cannot celebrate here. It is not safe.
Europe steps up its security measures for New Year's Eve as the German city of Cologne marks 1 year since violence erupted in its main square during celebrations. Also to come this hour, a consulate chef is named among the Russian diplomatic staff to be expelled from the US suspected of spying, as President Obama levies new sanctions against Russia for alleged hacking during the election season. And as we prepare to bid farewell to 2016, RT takes a look at some of the trends and events that have shaken up the world order this year, as well as how they might shape 2017. Hello, welcome. It's just gone midday here in Moscow. You're watching RT International. Now, security has been ramped up across Europe in preparation for New Year's Eve. Last year's celebrations in the German city of Cologne were marred by a string of robberies and sexual assaults, and people there are fearful it could happen again.
I will not be visiting public places. For me, it is too dangerous this year.
The police can't possibly be everywhere, that's the problem. Such things happen too fast. And considering the scale of what happened last year, and what has recently happened in Berlin, I don't think people will show up in such numbers as last year. I think they will stay away, unfortunately.
Well, after the New Year celebrations in 2015, over 1,000 complaints were filed with police alleging sexual assaults, violence and theft carried out by people of Arabic or North African appearance. Anti-migrant protests were planned on New Year's Eve this year in Cologne, although they were banned by police. RT's Nikki Aaron now reports on how the city is bracing itself to bring in 2017.
On top of an increased police presence, firecrackers have been banned outside the cathedral right here. On top of this, there have been extra lighting installed. There will also be increased security checks. Truck barriers will also be set up where crowds are expected to gather to watch the New Year's fireworks. And in one unprecedented move, police are expected to be carrying machine guns. Well, I spoke to some of the locals to find out whether they will be attending this year's New Year's Eve celebrations and whether they've been put off by last year's events, and also to find out what they think about these increased security measures.
There's always the possibility of a security breach at large events, but we have been living with these concerns for quite a while now. The security services are doing what they can.
This year, I think security is good enough to ensure that everything runs smoothly.
I cannot celebrate here. It is not safe.
For those who will still be attending the New Year's Eve celebrations here, one thing's for certain. This year, the party will have a very different atmosphere. This is Nikki Aaron for RT in Cologne.
Concerns over security have grown since a terror attack targeted a Berlin Christmas market earlier this month. 12 people were killed when a truck rammed into a large crowd. Berlin and London are among a number of European capitals at the moment, boosting security measures, installing concrete blockades and increasing police presence. And it's now emerged too that the man who carried out the attack in the German capital had been on the police radar but wasn't considered a serious threat. With more on that, here's Peter Oliver.
When 24-year-old Anis Amri filmed his video pledging allegiance to the terror group Islamic State, he was here in this part of central Berlin. Filmed seemingly before he ploughed a truck into a Christmas market, killing 12 people, he called on others to kill non-Muslims any way that they could. But just 5 days before that, he'd actually been assessed by security services here in Germany and deemed that he wasn't an immediate threat to carrying out a terrorist attack. That's despite having known links to Islamic groups and extremists, and despite having been tracked looking up how to make pipe bombs online. He wasn't deemed to be any kind of immediate threat. Security services here in Germany use an 8-point scale to determine the risk a person poses, with number 1 being the most dangerous. Amri was placed at number 5 on that scale, meaning that he was of no significant immediate terror threat. It's left questions over how somebody who actually appears on this list could ever be able to be free to carry out such an attack, as has how he was able to travel through as many as 4 EU countries after the attack, seemingly going from here in Berlin over to the Netherlands before travelling all the way through France over into Italy, where he was shot and killed just outside of the city of Milan. As fate would have it, just a stone's throw away from where Amri filmed his video, the new headquarters of the BND, and it may well be in this building that German security services try to answer the questions over why a suspect was so miscategorized and able to be free to kill. Peter Oliver, RT, Berlin.
We discussed the current security concerns with counter-terrorism expert Douglas Weeks.
He was on the radar, why exactly they took him off, and what factors that they were using to make that determination, I'm not aware of. Well, ultimately, you know, the buck stops with Angela Merkel. She has been under increased scrutiny, not only for some of the recent attacks that have occurred in Germany, but also because of Germany's perhaps more liberal policy when it comes to accepting immigrants. And so it's been an uphill battle for her.